My name is Jelena Arakelow.
And I'm Klāvs Liepiņš.
And we are collaborating for Vides Deja for a site-specific performance at the Paper Factory.
Exactly. So the differences between working in a site-specific project and working in a theater. I mean, we both have our individual little details on what is the difference, but for us the common thing is that when you work in a black box on a stage, you can, it's like a blank page where you can write the text. But whereas you work in a site-specific, the space really defines. It already has an information. So what do you as an artist then? What methods or whatever choices you make in order to put it in a spotlight or support the space and vice versa?
So like in the site-specific, for us it's very much about how the site is informing visually, physically, and like what is the time that the site is kind of creating. So it is not just a project or an idea that comes from within and we put it somewhere, but it's really about collaboration with the space. So we kind of work together, okay, what is the space offering us, what is the site offering us, and what is so specific about this site-specific. So yeah, we chose to come to Vides Deja because we collaborate together and we had the wish to collaborate in Latvia together on a site-specific project. And we thought it was a great opportunity to come here and start kind of figuring out how do we work in site-specific conditions.
Exactly.
And yeah.
And as well because we're both based in Iceland and Latvia is my home and Switzerland is her home. And that is another big thing when we, as a collaborators, we come and introduce with each other's sites and the culture and history, but mainly just what makes the site. This is the humans, the space, the information all about it. So this is our longer term goal. I go to her
and I come to his roots.
And so this is our goal right now.
And that kind of brings us to the next topic of like how was it to work with the local or Latvian dancers, and it was very inspiring to see how dedicated and motivated the dancers were, and we were very impressed on the openness and the creativity and the curiosity that the dancers brought into the space and towards us, and kind of allowing that we could have a creative process together and not just us as choreographers and dance artists to kind of put on them what we want, but kind of to work together and figure out, okay, where can we go together?
And what one and each can bring in the total outcome, the final outcome, because not only the site defines then what body has to do or not to do in the space, but as well we take as a main inspiration source the dancers that we're working with.
And the energy that is kind of created together. So this is also kind of what we are working with for this festival and for the Paper Factory and the site-specific performance. We are working in the Paper Factory and we are creating a experience for the dancers, for the choreographers and for the audience together. It is a performance and
I mean, exactly. And just a little bit about the Paper Factory, what inspired us the most, because the work there stopped out of blue, and it was very fascinating to experience that you enter the space and the time has stopped, but the energies of the people are still there. And you have no idea what are these people, but you can see, the cups are still there, the objects, everything is as they would be working there yesterday. Only the dust, the dead plants are a signature of that time has passed. But so this is kind of this delusional sensation when you enter the space, and therefore for us it was very important, not really, or maybe not really that it wasn't important, but what wasn't as mandatory, the history of the place, but the people history of the place. What are the stories? Because the people made it what it was. As the locals, many call them the second home. So for us it was very important to research and bring in rather the energy from the locals that has been keeping this site alive.
And that's also kind of the locals, or the energy from the space is kind of also what tells us the story about how things have changed and how the ecology and the environment has been transforming. And there is like very specific elements which show us that if the plants are not being watered, they are not gonna grow. And it is kind of this beautiful contrast between nature, fabric and the people. So it was very exciting to be teaching and facilitating a masterclass, and I was kind of bringing forward the physicality, the research that I am working with, the energy and the strength that comes from the people within the body. And I think that is like one of the big strengths that I see in this festival, that the festival is providing a gathering and the togetherness of international, local and an extreme locality due to the site-specific, and that they are all being brought together, working together, taking classes together and creating and being creative.